In John 6, 1-14, Jesus, confronted by a crowd of 5,000 men, and we would have to assume probably another 5,000 women and children, turns to his disciples and asks how they will feed them. Philip, flabbergasted, responds that they would need at least 8 months' wages to provide even one bite of bread for each person. Now, I haven't run the numbers, but it sounds reasonable to me. Then in verse 9, Andrew chimes in. He says, "There's a young boy here with 5 barley loaves and 2 fish." But then he adds, "What good is that with this huge crowd to feed?" Now, in all fairness to Philip and Andrew, 5 small loaves and 2 fish does not seem like enough to feed a crowd of 10,000 plus. Go ahead, do the math. That comes to roughly 1/1000th of a loaf and 2 5,000ths of a fish per household. Now, I'm not sure how to do the conversion to calories per person, but I'd guess that's somewhere south of 1. So far, not good, at least insofar as the math goes. The real problem, though, is that they have reckoned without Jesus. They've left God out of the equation. Philip calculates according to the money he would need to feed the crowd on his own, and it's a staggering amount. Andrew calculates, understandably, based on what he could do with 5 loaves and 2 fish. And the math doesn't work. He comes up well short, as he should. In his hands, it's not enough, not by a long shot. And if you're anything like me, you too fall victim to this kind of math on a regular basis. We excuse ourselves from giving, from obedience, from service to God and His kingdom, from the many small daily obediences of following Jesus, because we know what we have to offer, and we know it isn't enough. We have run the numbers, and we have discovered that our gifts and our talents, matched with our time, can't add up to anything very significant. And insofar as that goes, we may well be right. But we, like Philip and Andrew, have left Jesus out of the equation. Let me ask you a different question. What is the product of 5 loaves and 2 fish multiplied by Jesus? As it turns out, the answer is enough and more. I've always liked that Jesus arranged for leftovers instead of the minimum needed. Presumably, he could have arranged for just enough food to feed the crowd, but he doesn't. They collect baskets of leftovers. It's almost as if he's trying to make a point that anything offered to him, done for him, no matter how small, is not just sufficient, it is more than sufficient. So the next time that you are tempted to do the math, to think that today's small act of love or obedience can't amount to anything, stop and check your math. Remember a little boy who earned everlasting fame because he included Jesus in his calculations. You never know what great thing God might do with even the smallest act of love or service or obedience. Who would dare to put a limit on the product of that small act multiplied by Jesus?